Why so serious?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Hello, especially to those right now in the present with us who are watching live on Twitch. But if you are in the future watching this on YouTube, you can join us live for this show every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So, do it. Do it if you're bad. Today, we are playing, this is episode 4 of, oh my gosh.
It is episode 4. Holy moly.
I just knocked something off my desk. It's going well so far.
She's so excited.
I'm so excited. Today, this is episode 4 of Apocalypse When. This is the Apocalypse World game that I have been running for the past few weeks here on Encounter Roleplay. I love it, and I'm so excited to get back into it. But first, I'm going to tell everybody a little bit about our sponsors. First up, Fantasy Grounds. We are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds here at Encounter Roleplay. They are our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the roles and everything that you see happening today are using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. I highly recommend it. It's a super customizable platform that you can use for all of your tabletop RPGs. So check it out, fantasygrounds.com. I'm scrolling through my notes. Next up, we have Wayland Games, where you can get all kinds of miniatures and things like that for your tabletop games at waylandgames.co.uk. You could get a huge range of D&D, Warhammer 40k minis, all of your miniatures for 20% off, so check them out. They are very, very cool. And who doesn't love miniatures? I do. You can never have too many. Speaking of things you can never have too many of, our other sponsor, Tabletop Loot, is someone you should check out. They sell incredible dice, and if you really, really want them really bad, retweet our live tweet about the show, and you could win a set of dice from Tabletop Loot. So do that. Very cool. Dice are great, and Tabletop Loot's dice are especially great. So yeah, do that. Retweet the tweet, check them out, and I hope you win, because that would be awesome. Whoever you are out there, I hope
specifically you.
Yes,
right
you.
There. Yes, you.
They're very, very cool. So check them out. All of our sponsors: Fantasy Grounds, Wayland Games, and Tabletop Loot. And then finally, everybody out there watching, you can interact with today's game by donating to us here at Encounter Roleplay. You can donate. You can give our players some crit fails, some crit successes, all kinds of different fun effects. So if you want to do that, donate, and some really, really cool or potentially terrible stuff might happen depending on what you do. And then finally,
nice.
Finally, if there is a moment during the show that you love, please clip it for us using Twitch. I love to watch those. We all love to go back and watch those, and we love to use those on Twitter and things like that. So please send us your clips. I like to watch them and laugh at all of the silly stuff that we have done. So
I've done a lot of silly stuff.
Yeah, it's only going to get sillier up in here. So let's see. Yeah, that's everything on the list. So without further ado, let's all say who we are and what we are here doing today. So for me, you all have spent the last 12, 13 minutes of your lives listening to me talk, so that's cool. I'm Savvy. I am the master of ceremonies for this show that you are watching. So I'm the game master running the game. You can find me on Twitter and all of the social medias at Savvy Seaworth. And then also I do a lot of streaming at twitch.tv/game nights, game with 2 G's and nights with a K. That's me.
And I am Rob, or Bonus Stage Rob if you're feeling formal, but you know, it's fine, it's cool, we're all friends here. I stream over on twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob, where I play a variety of games to varying degrees of quality. When I'm not doing that, I'm playing online tabletop games here or on Runway Robots channel. You'll just you look around the internet, I'm there, you'll see me. And that's my steez.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the tweets. I play a lot twice on Sundays and Monday through Wednesday. So check my Twitter and you can find out what I'm doing it. Tonight I'm playing Maggie, the Irish Victorian era character who has a bit of a secret past. Mystery is about.
Intrigue.
Graybeard of Graybeard Tavern, and it's Graybeards with an S on Twitch, but Graybeard with no S on Twitter. What can you do? But tonight I will be Sergeant Traeger. I'm the gun lugger, and I like to play with lots of toys, and that's what I do the rest of the week is play when I can. Wednesdays I'm in Saltmarsh on Dammit Barry's channel. And Fridays, I'm on Jackal and Hare as a SWAT team guy, Jackson Renard. And I'm here, and I do Darkest Dungeon on Sunday mornings. Whew, I couldn't think of it. I'm used to that at the end, not at the beginning.
Love it. Hello, I'm Christina Sid. I'm at Greek Sid on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter doing very silly things. Also here on Sundays and over on Femsman on Tuesdays playing Neverland 5e D&D. Oh yeah. But I'm playing Carla the Brainer, so I will be reading minds and generally being an agent of chaos. It's going to be fun.
Like you do. All right. Well, in that case, we will go ahead and get started. But first, we're going to follow the rules of the game and remember to do the rule things we're supposed to do for the first time. So we are going to highlight stats. Just a quick reminder on how that works. We're going to go around very quickly. You all are going to pick out the person that has the highest, that you have the highest history with on your sheet. And they will highlight one of your stats, and I will highlight another one. If it's a tie, we'll figure out what to do. Let's start with Maggie.
Hi, Maggie is rolling her other thing she has to do.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Carla is the highest with me.
Okay.
Excellent.
Following
Let's
the pattern.
highlight your weird.
Ooh. This music.
Okay.
So
I love it.
weird.
It's very good. I'm going to highlight your cool. Maggie?
Question, does my roll go before the game start? Before we do this? Which came first, the roll or highlight?
I'll say highlight came first.
Sweet. Then I level up.
Nice.
Excellent. All right, and we will get to that in
Sure.
just a second. Let's do Traeger.
All right, it's Carla, of course, because she's in everyone's head.
Yeah.
So,
Then
Okay.
let's highlight your cool.
I'm going to highlight your weird.
all right. Cool and weird.
All right, let's do Carla.
Mine are a tie between Maggie and Traeger.
All right, so the two of you.
I leveled you up last week, Verulo. We rolled over, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
true. Okay.
Let's go hot.
All right.
I would like to highlight sharp.
Okay.
All right, so that leaves us with Verulo.
Mine is tied between Traeger and Carla.
Oh. Let's highlight your sharp.
Oh, I am a sharp boy.
Here's the sharp boy.
Then I'll hot.
I can try to be a hot boy.
Wonderful.
I'm the one who has the big negative at that, right? So
I think with this head, not this head.
All right, it's gonna be good. All right, and let's see. We have Maggie's fortune. So you rolled a 9. Oh, I see it right there. Perfect.
Nice.
All right. So, with that being done, I do want to pick up pretty much right in the moments where we left off. So you all have just taken down rather violently, some of you, and dispatched a few of these members of what you assume to be Apotheosis. So there are some dead ones laying around. You have 2 hostages, I believe, and a third in Richie Sambora.
Right.
That you have taken backstage back into the one of the dressing rooms, locked the door behind you, and yeah, I would pretty much like to pick right back up there. So as you are dragging these people you have taken hostage through the hallways, throwing them in, locking the door behind you, I think sort of coming down off of the adrenaline and the excitement of what just happened, I think Maggie, as you are kind of following the group and walking into this dressing room, Traeger locking the door behind you, you feel this, I guess it's sort of the same kind of psychic connection you feel with your followers, but a bit stronger, and you didn't initiate it, kind of take hold of you very briefly, and you don't get any words necessarily, but I think you are just for a moment kind of overcome with this feeling of, let's call it pride in what you have just accomplished. And I think you know where it's coming from.
Oh, awesome.
You did good.
Oh,
You did good.
she blushes a little bit.
So hey, can hang on to that
Yeah, I'll put that in my back pocket.
moving forward. So yeah, I think you feel this almost this kind of like warm feeling of pride, and then just as quick as it came, it releases you.
One.
All right. So, what would you like to do, the 4 of you?
Tie Richie down.
Okay, I think you can do this fairly
I'm gonna-
easily.
zip tie.
Assuming Traeger has calmed down from his not to be fucked with rage, I'm going to get closer to him because I think I'm still a little bit shaken from being in a fight, despite it going well for me. It was terrifying, and Verulo's going to get back with his more muscly friend, who is
Okay.
more well equipped for this.
All right, and yeah, Traeger's just going through the motions of, like, you know, zip tie his wrist to a chair, his elbow to a chair, you know, knees and ankles. So he's all bound to said chair.
All
And,
right, so Richie Sambora is tied to a chair. The other 2, I think, are unconscious at this point. So they'll dump them on the couch and
Mm-hmm.
deal with them later.
Just
Okay.
yeah, zip tie their hands behind their backs.
Cool.
Should we wake him up?
Send more zip ties.
Running low.
About 2 minutes later, I think you hear this popping sound behind you, and just landing like on one of the vanities in the room, there's just this little era box that just kind of pops through.
They never respond that quickly. Can you ask them to send some gin? That would be lovely.
All right.
No? Later?
I don't. I don't ask for gin this time.
All right, but your zip tie levels are replenished.
Sweet.
Traeger then looks at Carla and then looks at her glove, and then looks at Richie and is like, "You got this, or are we doing it the old-fashioned way?"
Let's start with the old-fashioned way and then see what we need to do. I think
Alright.
he's a smart man. I
Traeger
think he'll
smacks him.
listen.
Okay. So you slap Richie Sambora across the face, and I think after
We love you,
a
Richie.
second, after a second, I think he comes to and is kind of shaking his head a little bit, and is I think looking around at all of you, not scared. I think more kind of confused than anything in this moment, and just kind of stares at all of you as waiting for you to speak.
Care to explain what's going on?
Oh, now.
Yes. Now would be perfect.
I'm doing what I was told.
And what was that exactly?
I'm supposed to get rid of him.
Get rid of John. Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Why?
That's what I was told to do.
By
And
who?
what exactly
You keep
do you
saying that. By who?
Our masters, the time travelers.
I mean, those ass hats? And he points over at the two tied up on the couch.
I think he kind of looks and kind of laughs just a little bit and says, No. They answer to me.
Where do you get your information from?
They came
How
to
did
us.
they contact you?
They showed up. Here.
And you just did as they told you?
Yes.
I look for the wetware disc. I just force his head sideways to check his behind both of his ears.
Okay. There's nothing there.
How do you communicate with them?
They communicate with me. They
How?
came here, they told me what to do, and I did it.
Like in
Tried to
person?
do it.
Why? Why did you do it?
It's what I'm supposed to do.
Does he seem like he's been brainwashed in any way? Like, he seems like not that I would know anything about this, but could I tell that he's been manipulated in some way to be sort of like sheep like a sheep?
I'm gonna... Sure, yeah, I'm gonna have you roll
This
to
is
read a person.
textbook. Not that I would know.
So
Not that I
let's
wrote
see,
the
what is
book.
read a person? Roll plus sharp, and we'll do read a person.
Okay.
This is sort of your area of expertise.
Yeah. Could I roll with weird instead? Probably
If you
not.
have
All right.
ability.
I don't.
No, we'll go ahead and do sharp to see where we end.
That's 6.
So no. I think it is hard to tell. You can tell, I think, even without that. I mean, he does not seem afraid of any of you, which is odd. And doesn't really seem to have any answers for what you're asking him beyond he's doing what he was told to do. So I think Maggie can make her own assumptions from that, but I don't think you get anything extra.
All right. I don't think we're going to get anything from him this way. Carla, would you mind?
It's a must.
Traeger had just got out in a multi-tool, and he like flipped it around, and there was like like wire cutters or something, and then you ask her, and he flicks it back and then puts it back in the pouch.
Mine's at least a little less messy, so I'll just sort of walk up right in the middle of the forehead. Excuse me, boom, and just pop a little finger on him.
Okay.
And let's do a deep brain scan. Do.
Roll plus weird.
All right. That's a plus 3. That's a 10. Woo!
Okay. So on a 10 plus, hold 3. You can spend them 1 for 1 asking questions from your list.
Sweet. All right. So let's see. Did I ask this one last time? No, I asked this of Bon Jovi, so I'll ask this of Richie Sambora. In what ways is Richie Sambora's mind and soul vulnerable? Because that's one you ask every day, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Mind and soul vulnerable. I think, Carl, I think this brain scan is a little odd. Not that they're not all kind of weird, but this one for you, I think there is not much for you to work with, which is a little odd. But I think kind of poking around, I think at this point what he is sort of feeling as far as vulnerability goes is he's being taken away from his mission and losing valuable time, and that frightens him a bit.
Okay. Hold three. Let's see what else I got.
Is Bon Jovi with us? Or is
no.
John?
No, I think he was taken into another, a different room by his security.
Personal security. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might have someone go watch him too, just in case.
Okay, sure.
What does he intend to do in this situation? What is he going to do, I guess?
He has a very singular focus right now. He is going to answer your questions, which he feels like he has already done, and then he is going to continue on the path.
How could I get Richie Sambora to bring us his masters?
Interesting. Let's see. I don't think you could. I think as you get to this point, and you're kind of poking around through his kind of feelings and his memories, and things like that, you go back looking for any kind of vulnerability, any kind of information that might get him to do what you want, and you realize, I think, in this moment, because you rolled a 10, that his memories go back about to his first meeting with these people in the masks, and he has nothing before that.
Oh.
What is it?
Oh, they've done a number on this one. Full memory wipe. He remembers nothing before meeting these people. He's a shell.
Is that possible? Can you just
Maggie just
remove
looks at him
memories?
like, "Oh, you poor thing."
It's not something I'm capable of yet. I assume it would be possible, though. And, well, the evidence is right here. I mean, he is a grown man and has no memories as of before a few weeks ago. Also, yes,
Right.
they've definitely done something up here. Beyond that, he's driven.
What did he intend to do with John? Just deliver him? Not harm him?
Oh no, I believe they wanted to kill him. I think we figured
Do you
that
know
out last
why?
week. Yeah.
The
To start an
International
international
incident.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right, I mean, I don't know that, never
In my
mind.
notes. I should read. Thanks, Past Rob. You wrote that down. Present Rob. Excuse me. Carla learns trying to cause an international incident. Okay, cool. I'm on the page. I'm on the same page.
This particular timeline is very fond of Bon Jovi.
Apparently.
Yeah. Some say the Cold War was started because of his birth.
So, what are we to
man.
do with him now that we've got him?
Kind of look over at him. What do you think? If you go missing in your mission, will anyone miss you?
I couldn't say.
He's not going to give anything up.
He has nothing
I
to
don't
give
think
if
he's-
he has no memories.
Precisely. So, I say we kill him.
I don't see the merit in that.
He's useless.
Well,
and he will keep trying to do the job.
hear me out. The human mind, as I've been reading from these years of notes and medical knowledge, memories don't simply disappear. I think the connection between them simply does. So, does it stand to reason, Carla, that you can reestablish this connection? Or if not you, somebody could. And if we kill him, maybe we're killing off the only person that could lead us to finding whoever contacted him. His masters, as he says.
That was well put.
I suppose it's less fun. I don't know if it's something I'm capable of, but I would assume whoever was able to destroy the memories, or at least break them apart from him being able to remember them, could heal that in some way. Maybe. Possibly.
What about you, Doc?
I am learning all of this in the past maybe 2 weeks. I am by far not a brain surgeon or a memory expert. I just know that knowledge exists.
So maybe shock his brain back to thing, reset it.
Is there nothing in the future that could allow us to do something like this?
Again, if only we had a tech with us.
Well, perhaps we should send him away, and we are time travelers. We could send him to the ERA headquarters. And
Yes, maybe they
could
have a
handle it
detention
there.
center.
Exactly.
Do they? Does he's going to address Richie? Are there more like you that come from different time periods and are pulled out and indoctrinated?
Maybe. I'm only doing what I was told.
When were you told to do this?
3 weeks ago?
And who are these people in the masks over here? Where did you find them? Oh, she's frozen.
No!
Oh no. There's no rules!
No!
There's all the rules!
You're back, you're back!
You're back.
Okay.
I have murdered Richie Sambora. He's dead.
Everything's on fire. Help.
This moment, everybody froze, and I went, no. Okay.
I'm just so terrified Richie Sambora is going to do like a vanity search and he's going to find this and be like, what the hell? Like, it's going to be great. I'm really looking
We
forward
don't
to
think
it.
you're in an evil time traveling
We love
cult.
you. We love you.
Disclaimer.
You're fine.
Okay.
Not
So, wow, I don't know what that was about. Weird. The maelstrom got me for a second. Okay. So, Richie Sambora tells you he was given these orders about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. And
So
where
they-
she,
No, go ahead.
Maggie asked where he found the people that are following him, the ones in the masks, who they were.
Just people. They're from here, like me, but they were pointed out to me as vulnerable.
And how are they flying?
I don't know.
So,
Right.
those folks
Yeah.
over there, they're from now? From your time?
Oh, yes.
Traeger's searching them for like some kind of grav belt or something, because flying's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, I think, I don't think you have to roll for this. I think you would recognize it, but I think searching them, you find this, on the bottoms of their shoes, these sort of rings around the soles of them, that you can sort of touch and activate, and they glow that kind of blue color, that you would recognize as probably
Snake.
some kind of anti-gravity technology.
Uh-oh. Do we all freeze? Uh-oh.
No.
I think we all froze.
No.
No,
No,
just
I can
you.
hear you.
Maybe.
Okay.
It's
Did you
not me
freeze
this
them?
time.
Okay.
Just gonna go around in the circle.
Yeah. The maelstrom is strong today.
They're strong.
next.
Can we yoink those? Yeah, let's yoink and go those,
Yeah,
those gravity thingies.
They go right in the pack.
Okay. So you've got, let's see, 2 dead ones and 2 unconscious ones. Yes. Okay. So you now have 4 pairs of hover boots, I guess.
Writing them down.
What have I done?
Why would you ever give that to me?
I don't think I'm going to regret this one.
So you.
All right.
Tell me, what did Carla? When you looked into his brain, did you see the person who was talking to him?
Did I see the person who was talking to him?
You did. It is a familiar sight of a person in dark clothes wearing a golden mask.
Just the same as before. The gold mask, the dark cloak. Very mysterious.
Did you
Did you
hear
hear-
them?
Yeah.
Did I hear them?
You did. I think you didn't hear much. I don't think they were much for words, but definitely a deeper sounding voice. No discernible accent to speak of.
It wasn't the same as before. Deeper voice. Didn't sound like you, Miss Maggie.
Interesting. I sure would love to speak to one of these again. Are they going to contact you anytime soon?
I don't know. They just show up.
Traeger, are we going to be able to transport this man back to our base?
That is a great question for Savvy. Have we ever brought stuff through from? I mean, obviously these guys have come back with me at times, so it's not impossible.
Yeah,
Or
it's
shouldn't be.
not. No, it's definitely not impossible. I think it is a very rare occurrence, but you know it can be done. Probably for Traeger, the best thing to do is try to get a message back, let them know what is going on, and have someone come and essentially set up an extraction.
Okay, that's
And have
what he
someone come and
does.
get him.
Starts
While
cutting
we're
it
waiting
up.
on that, I mean, he hasn't completed his mission, obviously. So, do we feel that they're going to come for him and figure out why that is? Do we set a trap?
I think that's a very good idea.
Ooh! Sounds like fun.
I have a thing for this too.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe should go over and talk to Bon Jovi and his people. You guys got this? I'll go over in my security duds and see if I can get anything from them.
Yes, I
Please
think I'll
give
have a
John our condolences. I hope he's okay.
John, got it.
All right, so you want to go over and try to talk to John Bon Jovi?
Or at least his security people or someone.
Okay.
'Cause-
Sure, yeah. So I think you go over to the other dressing room, knock on the door. One of his security detail opens the door. They don't seem super keen on letting you in, but we'll speak with you.
You're John Secure. You guys good?
All good.
Are you going to be moving him from this location soon, or
Very
are you...
soon.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Do you need
Shows
anything from
shows
us?
canceled.
Do you need anything from us?
No. The local authorities are on their way to help deal with the rest of this. That's not really our problem. But if you've
And has
You've
there,
got it
has there
handled.
been any other attempts on him in the past 3 weeks or so?
Nothing too serious. I mean, we had a couple of weirdos show up now and then, but guess we didn't take it seriously enough.
Were they in gold masks?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if there's anything we can do, just call out radio channel. He looks at the radio and says, "Just ask for Sergeant Traeger, and I'll assist however I can."
I think he salutes you back and says, "You got it, Sergeant."
Go back to our peeps and relay the minor information. Other things have happened, just weirdos, though.
Okay.
Did you tell them to give John our regards?
Sure. Yep.
I'm watching you
Later
so
on, when
tough.
you're reading mine. Yeah, later on.
When you're sleeping.
I'd like to try something with our friend if we have the time. I'm
Feel
gonna
like
go
we have
up.
everything booked. Yeah.
Maggie's gonna go up to Richie and, depending on how we want it to work, she's going to try to manipulate him into doing what we want instead of what they want.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. So do you have a move for this, or just to manipulate someone?
I have. When you try to manipulate someone, roll plus weird instead of plus hot.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
charismatic.
Sounds good. All right, so I'll roll to manipulate someone, plus your weird.
Oh.
Okay, that's like a million. In this case, it's 11. So on a 10 plus for NPCs, they will go along with you unless or until some fact or action betrays the reason you gave them. So what do you tell him to convince him?
Maggie's gonna lean over and whisper in his ear, so that the others don't hear.
Okay.
She's going to tell him a little about who she serves and about if she chooses to, she could send him to him to send him to the Green-Eyed Man as like a sort of a threat.
Okay, sure, yeah. So I think you you lean down and very quietly kind of whisper to him, and looking at him, and maybe a little bit of green sheen kind of comes over Maggie's eyes for just a moment. And yeah, I think in that moment, I think looking at you and looking down and kind of very quickly calculating his options, I think he just kind of nods and very sincerely says, okay.
Wonderful.
What do you want me to do?
Mr. Traeger, do you mind removing the handcuffs from him?
Whips out that multi-tool, snip, 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 snip. Cuts him free.
Okay.
I think that you need to get somewhere that's a little bit more private. Somewhere perhaps my friends could follow you. And you could wait for instructions from your other handler.
Okay. Yeah, I can find something.
All right. And she's gonna summon two of her companions and have them trail him.
Okay. So I think after a little bit, he is going to. So what would you? How would you like to set this up? You all want to set a trap?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me the plan. Give me the rundown of what you would like to accomplish.
Where's a good place that he would be? I mean, he could stay in this room and we can all leave, sort of thing. When the character appears, we will be in waiting, either in the room or outside of it, and try to take him captive.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I think for this situation, his best move is probably going to be to go into the back, kind of smaller area of this dressing room, and he will wait. Where would you all like to
bait a
be?
trap?
I would love for you to roll to bait a trap. Let's see.
All right. And since I upgraded, I took the move Spooky Intense, which was from a different playbook. And when you do something under fire, stand overwatch, or bait a trap, roll plus weird instead of plus cool.
Sweet.
So just super spoopy.
There.
Spoopy and
Super spoopy.
All right. All right. So let's see. To bait a trap.
Doing all the
that
rolling today.
is a 9.
Annoying.
So yeah, you have no reason at this point to think it would not be successful. Let's see. And I'm gonna have the rest of you let me find it. I'm looking for my subterfuge moves, which have not come up yet. All right. I am gonna have the rest of you roll for. You're all definitely the cat and not the mouse in this situation. So the rest of you, if you are sort of helping to set this up, I'm gonna have you roll plus cool. Unless you have something that allows you to roll with something else, such as acting under fire or something like that.
Nope.
I don't necessarily know that this would count. We're not helping her roll, are we? We're just
No, this is
rolling in addition to it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you all setting up your parts of the trap to see how well the four of you can coordinate.
So
Traeger
rolling
turns
cool, you
invisible.
said? We roll cool.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
roll plus cool, unless you have a similar move to Maggie. So if you have something like where it says if you're going to do something under fire, you can roll a different stat. You can roll that, otherwise just roll cool. All right, so that's 2 7s and a 13
Oh shit!
out of Sergeant Traeger's corner.
He's in position with his rifle.
My
ready to-
God.
We lost him. We were like, oh god, oh soldier.
Yeah,
soldier.
Traeger. Traeger just turns invisible. You all right? So let's see. You were the cat. So especially for that 13 on a 10 plus, you have driven your prey to the place of your choosing. Normally you would say where, but I think we've seen where already, which is going to be in this room. So the three of you, or the four of you, excuse me, kind of setting up this trap. Would you like to hide, or any of you in the room with him?
Carla is just gonna like lay down behind a chair, just like prop up and try to like blow her smoke downward so it doesn't float up.
Okay.
That's probably where the 7 came from, is occasionally like smoke just pops up.
Okay. Okay, sure. You're mostly hidden. I think. All right. Brulo and Maggie, where are you at?
Maggie is probably standing somewhere. Like she's not going to crouch down under anything. She would never do that.
Of course.
She's probably outside the room, like behind maybe like a curtain. I don't know.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, Varula's gonna stick with her.
Okay. All right. So the two of you kind of placing yourselves outside the door, sort of against a wall. Maybe Maggie kind of slid behind one of the I don't know. There's a window in this room behind the window curtains. And Verulo close by her, probably on the wall with the door, assuming that this person is going to appear in that room. And Traeger, no one knows where you are. You you are in
Sniper's nest
the
across the
ceiling.
street. Like,
yeah, Traeger's just hanging from the ceiling. Like, so you are in the best tactical position, whatever you would choose that to be, with a pretty good view of what is going on in the room, and you wait, and you wait. And you wait. How long do you wait before Carla starts to get bored?
Traeger, can you call in that gin? The gin.
Called it in. They'll respond when they can.
I don't believe you. Do it again.
Traeger
You are
promised
doing
to do it again.
Carla, you feel everyone hears like a slight clink and then metal sliding on tile, and Carla, you feel a flask hit your knee.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So
she'll turn to Varula. I've got another one if you'd like.
oh, I'm fine. Maggie, though, it seems that these people, they seem to indoctrinate these subjects shortly before a disaster or an incident is supposed to happen. I just feel like we shouldn't split up so much, just in case they try to take one of us and wipe our memories.
Do you mean
'Cause
you and I,
apparently
or
that's-
the group as a whole?
Well, I wouldn't want any of us to be brainwashed, as it were.
Well, of course, I think that sticking together is the better option.
Yes, I keep thinking back to the woman in the mask with the motorboats, and part of me wonders is if it's not us in the future. Do we get brainwashed?
Let me tell you a little secret. I've seen people get brainwashed. I know how to do it. I don't think I'd ever let anyone do it to me.
That is both
Do you
terrifying and reassuring.
She squeezes his hand. It's all right. I think, if anything, it would be us from a darker timeline. Something where we are on a different path. Not this one.
Yeah. If you say so, I trust you.
Maggie smiles.
All right, so as you are having this conversation, you could have come to the end of it, Maggie giving you a little bit of an awkward smile. We're like, it's mostly reassuring. But I think after a moment or so of that, you hear a very familiar popping sound in the other room, and this kind of flash of light. And Traeger, from your vantage point, you can see someone in a dark black outfit, and the glint of the fluorescent lights off of a gold mask. And they, I think, approach Richie and start having a sort of quiet, hushed conversation with him.
Go time.
What do you do?
Take him down.
How close
Go
are they?
aggro.
Okay, you want to take a shot?
I was hoping to take him down physically, blam to the floor, and
Okay, so you want to charge in. Awesome. I love it.
Awesome.
yeah.
So, yeah, let's... I'm going to have you sucker someone. So we'll treat it as going aggro, so go ahead and roll
Alright.
plus hard.
All right. Ooh. Harsh.
Okay. That's a 7. So, Traeger in this moment goes sort of flying into the room, and I think you grab onto this person who is about as large as you are, and start to kind of wrestle them to the ground. In that moment, they were, I don't know if you were off balance or if they were just a little bit more ready for danger than you think, but in a flash, as the two of you kind of tumble to the ground, you feel this sharp pain in your side as a blade, seemingly out of nowhere, stabs into you between the ribs. That is 2 harm for you,
Ooh.
negated by whatever armor you have.
Yeah, so my light weave Kevlar type stuff just takes it. I mean, I feel the pressure, but it doesn't puncture. 'Cause it's
Okay.
armor
So-
too.
Excellent. All right. So I think you are on the ground, sort of wrestling with this person. The rest of you, do you intervene?
Oh, heck yeah. Can I get a hand on this person?
Absolutely.
I just want to get a hand on this person. That's just one very special hand on this person.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
How to use my strong hand.
Just my strong hand.
Roll to do something under fire.
Okay.
So that is plus cool.
Cool.
So cool.
She's
yo,
Carla. No
so
chill.
strong.
No chill Carla. That's what her friends used to call her. No chill Carla.
Back in the day.
Yeah, that's oh, it didn't roll. Dang it. It was a 3. Okay, I'm gonna roll. It was a 3 again.
There it is.
Hey!
A 3.
That's
That's
3.
bad on a miss.
Real bad.
Wow,
Be prepared for the worst. Is what this
Experience. All right.
Yeah, so go ahead and mark your XPs. And so I think Carla, caught up in the moment, you run into this room and try to get a hand on them, but I think they are sort of ready for you. And as they're struggling with Traeger, they kind of fly a covered arm out and trip you as you're running in and send you kind of flying into the room. You're gonna take 1 harm from the impact. That hurts your ankles quite a bit.
Owie.
And that's negated by any armor you may or may not have.
Where would you put it?
Okay. So you take the 1 harm as Carla sort of nosedives into the room, not making physical contact. Verulo and Maggie.
I think if Verulo starts to move in, she's just going to grab his arm, and then she's going to summon her beings in wait, and she is going to have them attempt to remove the device that allows them to travel through time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have you go ahead and roll plus weird.
Cool.
To send them to do this for you. Y'all are all over the place today.
Hefty.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
All right, that's a
Whoa!
14 for Maggie. So
Julie!
yeah, I think Maggie's eyes start to glow, and a few of her servants appear next to her and fly into the room in a fury. And Traeger, you kind of see them surrounding you as they start pulling at this this figure. And I think one of them grabs onto a similar looking device that is planted behind their ear that you all have. And with a fury, and I'm gonna have them do some harm because today they are you picked savagery for them, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For their
no.
want. So I think they sort of are able to manifest and rip this device sort of clean out of this person's neck, and this like splatter of blood goes across the floor. They're gonna take a couple of harm from that, and they let out this like just painful like guttural yell, and that hurt quite a bit. Nasty.
Let Verulo go now.
Okay, Verulo.
Did they target the one that got Traeger?
There's only
Like
one.
all of them?
Yeah, it's only the
there's
one.
just the one. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a few of them. Yeah, so I'm gonna run up to Traeger and help him out with his little woundy boy.
I actually did not get wound. My armor protected me.
Oh, it protected you. Okay, well, I'm gonna check up on you anyway and make sure you're okay.
As
and
he's
then-
wrestling, just
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
The knife and fall.
Okay.
Yeah, this is sort of go ahead and
he'll
roll
run in
to.
and just like be like, okay.
Yeah,
and then
so
go
amidst
over to
the-
Carla.
Yeah,
make sure he
amidst the
doesn't bleed
scuffle.
out. The other
go
guy,
ahead and
make sure
roll
the other guy
to-
doesn't bleed out.
Oh, true. Yeah, maybe I'll go to stabilize that guy then.
I'm
Okay.
fine.
Okay, so you're going to enter the fray. Go ahead and roll to do something under fire,
Okay.
which is plus cool.
Yeah. Do something under fire plus cool. And while I'm assuming that this counts toward battlefield grace, while I'm caring for people, not fighting, I get +1 armor.
Sure.
So it's irrelevant. I succeed.
You do. So you do it. So I think you
Nailed
make
it.
in and sort of skirt around behind Traeger, who is getting a hold on this this person, and from behind. Do you want to try to grab them? Or are you trying to do anything to this wound?
So I'm trying to make sure. I mean, I guess. Am I able to tell like how bad the wound is? Like, is it vital? Are they quickly bleeding out? Are they?
Yeah. I don't think from what you can see that was a good roll. It's not. They are not in immediate danger of bleeding out. It's pretty nasty, but it's mostly a superficial wound.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and restrain them then, similar to how I restrained the last guy.
Okay.
Just yeah.
Yeah. So let's have you. You made it in. Yeah. Let's go ahead and roll to go aggro on someone.
Oh boy. All right. Again, no modifier because I'm a soft boy. Oh yikes! It's a 7.
Okay. So let's see. On a 7 to 9, they can choose one of the above or one of the following. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have them. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and have them cave and do what you want, because there are now 3 of you and some some ghosts in this room. I mean, I think they are sort of reaching their limit. So I think Verulo, as you come up behind them and sort of try to help Traeger restrain them, I think they struggle for a moment between the 2 of you and then kind of stop.
Okay. I'm gonna go check on Carla because I feel like she's mad at me.
Aw.
Like my tail between my legs, like just pulling out my little medical bag, like.
I said I was
you
fine.
all right? Okay.
Yes, my ankle's a little sore, but I'm fine. Are you okay?
I offer her a ankle wrap.
You are.
Okay, so you get Carla
a
has
brace.
a minor sprained ankle. Nothing serious. You can still get along fine with that. But Verulo wraps up your ankle a little bit to stabilize it.
She'll just sort of pat him on the head.
Upon
Not
like
that
going to.
Outland. There's just
Yeah, I was gonna say upon going to do it, I pause right above her, like the skin of her ankle, and be like,
It doesn't work like that, darling.
Okay,
No.
okay. And then I will proceed.
Nice.
I
All right, so
genuinely
you-
didn't know if it was contact with skin. I don't know what the rules are.
All right, so you wrap up and stabilize Carla's ankle. Traeger, you
Yeah.
have sort of been given the upper hand on this person. Maggie, I think your friends, your servants, as they are currently, are still kind of hovering around this person, and Traeger's a little more aggressive than they usually are, I think, kind of looking to you and kind of waiting for what you want them to do next, but you get the feeling that they really kind of want to tear into this person.
Oh. Go.
So Traeger's all good with it. He's, he assumes this is part of Maggie's thing, so he,
Yeah.
he's not like swatting at the ghosts or anything.
Yeah. Maggie's just gonna say to them, "You can knock him unconscious if you like.
I want to talk to him first.
He'll wake up."
She's like pulled snacks out. She's just, I wanted to talk to him Crucible, she was eating snacks while he was wrapping her ankle. She's
All right. Go ahead, Maggie, for me and roll plus weird one more time.
They found her gin and some like beer nuts.
she's just snacking.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Oh,
Holy crap!
my
Very good.
God.
That's a 12.
These
So
are weighted
yeah,
dice.
I think they
Weighted
Hack the
electronic dice.
system.
so I think they the savagery in them is still there, but I think it sort of calms a little bit at your controlled command, and I think they will sort of swoop in, much like they did kind of with the person from before, kind of drawing energy out of them, getting to the point where this person starts to wobble a little bit, and Traeger, they fall unconscious.
Okay. They
Your
are
arms.
zip tied and set aside. And
Get that mask off. I want to see this fucker's face.
he'll pull that off. And then does do the spirits still have his device?
Yeah,
I think they just
Or
kind of.
where's the-
Do you think they took it?
I think they would give it to me.
Or okay,
Okay.
sure.
All right, as long as it is not laying anywhere, that's what Traeger, definitely we need. That does not stay here in the 80s. So, okay. Yeah, pull the mask off.
Okay. You pull the mask off, and before you see a relatively unassuming looking man. He is probably, I don't know, late 30s or so, kind of dark brown, almost black hair. You've never seen this person before.
No,
I don't know.
Not what I was expecting.
I have to do all
Check
the
in
work.
for tech. No. Check in for tech first.
'Kay.
See what he's got on him.
All the typical things
Lift
that I
up
would know
the
to
thing.
search for. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
Open his
he's
chest.
he's got a couple of things on him. A knife that you are very familiar with. Also a sort of small, about a pistol-sized sort of gun. This is definitely future tech Traeger that
Okay.
you're aware of. And then the soles of his shoes are similar to what you found earlier.
All right. Okay. And then does he have a communication device beyond the ear, like the panel I wear, or?
He does not.
Okay. All right.
Robbie, have you seen this man before?
He takes a moment, kind of looks him over, and just shakes his head. Only ever saw the mask.
Wonderful. You've been so helpful. Will you continue to try to get Mr. Jovi?
No.
Can you promise me that? And she's gonna walk over and kind of touch his cheek.
I think he looks probably for the first time a little bit nervous, but he nods his head and promises.
Oh, he promised. Okay. Do you think we can let him go?
Traeger doesn't. Traeger looks like he's gonna kill him, but he's kind of eyeballing left and right, thinking about it.
The man's brain was overwritten by me.
But you think he's good now? Ah. All right.
I think.
Gotta have faith in you.
All right.
Fine.
You may go. Thank you, dear.
I think he just sort of nods and he goes.
Bye, Richie Simbora. Bye.
Great, thanks.
You were wonderful. Bye.
Richie Sambora, everybody.
Everybody, yeah!
We've left the building.
Thank you. Good night.
All right. So you have saved Richie Sambora, I guess, for the most part. Well done.
She's gonna give him
you
a
have-
pamphlet before he leaves.
Okay. Okay, sure. So I think he sort of takes it and puts it in his. I don't know if he'd be wearing a jacket. He puts it in a pocket somewhere.
Tight leather pants.
Yeah,
You beat
just
me
like
to it.
sticking out of that back pocket. It's probably not coming out of there anytime soon. So he goes off ostensibly to not kill John Bon Jovi.
Excellent.
As
All right,
everybody should
and,
try to live their lives that way.
And you all have a prisoner.
Can I?
Again.
Can I?
What? Oh, of course. Go ahead. Sorry.
Bloop.
Okay.
Brain scam. I boop. Boop. Just on the nose.
It's
Boop.
just a little. Varula takes
Oh.
note. Brain in nose.
Nose. and in response,
Oh
the guy
man.
goes,
All right. Go ahead and roll plus weird. Y'all
14.
are out of control. All right, that's a
Holy crap.
14. Golly. Okay. So you hold 3,
Yes.
and you can ask some questions.
All right, here we go. Let's see some brainer questions. All right, how's this guy's mind and soul vulnerable? Because that's just fun info to have.
Let's see. How is he vulnerable? I think again, much like Richie Sambora, I think he has a very strong path that you see him on, and a very strong want to complete a mission. And so anything that sort of sets that back is like this guy's worst nightmare.
Oh no, is he truncated memory as well, similar to Richie here?
No, I don't think so. I think he feels whole for the most part. He's intact. But I think he, in kind of the same sense, I think he is vulnerable in that he has a very strong connection to this path that he sees himself on.
What was his lowest moment?
Ooh. That's tough. Let's see. His lowest moment. I think you. Let's see. I think you get these flashes of memories of his. I don't know that you can tell necessarily where or when he is, but this man as a younger man, sitting in what looks to be a cathedral of some sort, and I think there is this panic that he is feeling in this moment. There's this panic and sorrow, and after a few moments, he sort of gets up from the pew that he is sitting in. There's no one else in the cathedral with him, but he's sitting in a pew. I think he gets up, and you feel him or see him take this gold medallion that he is wearing, that is imprinted with one of the Catholic saints, and pulls it off, drops it in the pew, and walks out.
Oh, damn. Okay. Number 3. All right. How do I get him? Well, what does he intend to do? What was his intention? What was his goal here?
His goal here specifically?
Um,
His
the big plan. The big plan
The
that,
big-
that Richie Sambora fit into here.
The big plan, yeah. So I think there is a little bit of an air of chaos, kind of controlled chaos around him. But he seems to be holding to this ideal of change. I think you get a couple of flashes of him in rooms with other people wearing the same garb, other people wearing the masks, and they're always speaking of change and making the world their own. And there is this these kind of bits and pieces you get, I think, maybe from a speech that someone is giving to the rest of the group about changes that will be better for everyone.
Okay. I'll relay that to the group.
Okay.
Could you tell where they were when they were having this meeting?
It's hard to say. It was a dark, creepy room.
It was very spooky.
But, not much contextual information, I think, for that.
Well,
But
let's take his cloak and whatnot. So we have a mask and cloak, so we can disguise someone as one of them.
well, I think that's a good idea. We should also tie him up and maybe wake him. Have a little chat.
I already zip tied him, so wake him up.
Perfect.
All right.
Out of nowhere,
so-
Maggie just takes off her glove and smacks him.
All right, so Maggie's turn to slap someone today.
Hey!
I think you smack him across the face, and after a sec, he kind of shakes awake and is sort of looking at all of you, a little confused, a little groggy, and sort of drained of energy. And then I think he looks up and looks right at Maggie and says, "You're back."
Of course. I always come back.
What?
Did you have a doubt that I would?
Well, we hadn't heard from you, and well, time's a little weird. A long time. What
Right.
are you all doing here?
We're waiting for you.
Okay.
You were put on this mission, yes? And it has not been completed.
That's why I came here, to fix whatever is wrong with the guitar man.
He's run off. It seems his brain has been taken over by someone else. It was left vulnerable.
That's what I was afraid of. Not that he was fighting against it, that he was too vulnerable, that someone else would get to him. I can fix
That's
this.
why you shouldn't. You can. And how do you say you're going to do that?
Do what we've always done. We'll take him back. Start over.
And after this incident that's happened, have you seen it? Have you seen the public incident that occurred? The attack on stage? You don't think that it's going to be harder now?
Oh, it's never stopped us before.
I'm saying perhaps we should change our tactics. Doing the same thing over and over again does not work.
Okay. Is there a reason I'm tied to a chair?
Yes, there is. It's because you're an idiot.
Well, that's not the worst thing you've ever called me.
I'm not surprised. But let me tell you something. The fact that you're an idiot is not because you failed. It's because you can't notice the things that are right in front of you. You see, I'm not the person you think I am.
I don't understand.
I don't know who you are. I've never met you in my life.
I think this realization, this look of realization crosses his face. They told me this might happen. Well, are you gonna kill me?
Depends on how helpful you are.
You'll get nothing from me.
We've already
I think
got
he sort of
enough.
sits back in the chair a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Traeger chuckles. Looks over at Carla.
I'm game if you are.
You're gonna melt his brain if you have to.
Don't have to do that necessarily. I could just command him to tell us everything he knows. If it doesn't work, it may melt his brain.
I was gonna say it's better than me getting blood all over this carpet.
All right. Well, hold still now, and I will try to puppet string him. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay. Sweet.
All right, you can plant a command inside their mind. Roll plus weird.
Sweet. Okay. Class 3.
Wow.
It's a 9. So I
9.
hold 1.
Yes, at your will, no matter the circumstances, you can spend your hold. A 1 for 1.
All right. I would like for him to tell us everything he knows.
All right. So you touch his face, or whatever you would like to touch, really.
Don't get fresh.
That came out
No.
sounding, I think, very
Brain
differently than I
is
intended. All right.
Whoa.
Nothing gets the truth like a good goose.
All right.
No.
So
Does
Carla,
Era have HR?
Yeah, we report
Because we're in trouble. Oh, man.
Okay, so you touch him, make this contact, and plant this command in his mind, and I think you see again this look of realization cross his face, as if he knows what you're about to do. And I think you touch him, and he begins to talk. What you get from him is not much. He gives you his first name, which is Robert. He tells you that he is a part of this group called Apotheosis, that he was approached and taken out of time, that he is working with them because he believes that while it may look like chaos on the outside, Apotheosis is changing the things they need to change to make things better for everyone. That he is familiar with Maggie because Maggie is the one that pulled him out of time. And that he knows your faces because you travel with her.
Interesting.
Ferrullo immediately turns to Maggie as if to say, this is exactly what I was worried about.
Well, it would make sense if I was the ringleader, honestly. I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm just saying it makes more sense that I'm the ringleader.
So, do you think this is something that you do much later, or do you have a sideline that we're unaware of?
Well, I have no intentions of bringing people out of time. That's not my gig. That's Traeger's.
Isn't that exactly what you did to me?
Well, that wasn't
With his
me.
help.
It wasn't my choice to take you. That was Ara.
And Traeger is total poker face at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy with those shades.
Right.
Is his camera frozen? No, I'm asleep. Just like high school. So, but yeah, so he's just quiet
Robert.
and
Oh,
Yeah?
Oh yeah, didn't think
Am I
that
in
one through,
trouble?
did I?
What did I do?
huh?
yeah?
What?
I was answering something. And I was
that
like,
did
oh,
get
I'm
me
sorry, I'm
chilled out.
sorry.
10 seconds after I said it out loud.
Robert, can you tell me what you know about the Green-Eyed Man?
Not much.
What
Just
is
what
his
was in-
name?
Are you sure you want me to tell everyone?
I think it's all right.
Gratz. His name is
What
Gratz.
was it? Gratz? Okay.
GRAZ''ZT. Interesting. Am I the leader? Am I in charge of everything?
Well, you certainly tell a lot of us what to do.
Maggie kind of sits back and thinks about it, like, would I do that? Probably do that.
Do you all serve the Green-Eyed Man?
Not all of us, but some of us. Enough of us.
Well,
Status extraction. Sends a message.
Okay.
what should we do with him?
Probably take him home.
Take him to his home or ours?
Ours. Back to Era. Let them dig around in him.
Do you think if they do that, they'll imprison me?
Traeger just doesn't say anything. It's all spacey, wacy, timey, wimey. That's
Mm-hmm.
my instinct was to shoot you right now, but I'm not gonna do that.
Is it technically you? Is it a you that doesn't exist yet? Is it a you from a different universe?
It depends on whether you think your space is loopy or liney. if it's strings or loops, and that's above my pay grade.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, I suppose it all depends. Have you done anything yet? And
As far as
Ferrulo,
what?
as strongly as he can muster, levels his
Mhm.
gaze at you.
Mm-hmm. As far as what? Recruiting people? For something
As
I
far
don't
as-
know about?
Well, you say you don't know about it. Have you been truthful with us?
I have faith that this Maggie is our Maggie, but other than that,
Well, I know that it's our Maggie, but I'm just saying, does our Maggie have anything to do with this at this moment?
I only serve one person. If he designates that this is my destiny, then perhaps I already have. But I have not done anything as of yet that I'm aware that has brought me upon this path.
Would you mind if we made sure?
Varilla didn't want to say it, but he kind of awkwardly clears his throat.
I don't mind if you do it, Carla, but there are some things that need to remain between us.
Understood.
She kind of gestures.
I'll just hold out a hand. Let her do it.
One moment. Sorry, the gloves are kind of tight. You just gotta. There we are.
six buttons at
Yeah,
the
right.
end, a garter, and
There's like a little zipper in there.
I'm a little
Clips at the top. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah, she'll place her hand in Carla's.
Okay, so Maggie, you lay your hand in Carla's, and Carla, you want to deep brain scan your friend?
Scan my friend. This is weird. This is weird. All right.
All right, go ahead and roll plus weird.
Do I
That's
roll
definitely
something
weird.
to defend it?
Are you allowing her to do this, or do you want to try to fight it?
I am allowing her to do it, but I don't want her to see certain things.
Okay.
Only one moment,
Defeat the
really.
purpose.
I know. All right, it's fine. I
Uh,
trust her. I trust her.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So you do not try to hide anything from her. Carla rolled a 12, I think. Okay. So
That's a
you
deep scan.
can hold
Uh-huh.
3. I am
Okay.
going to. I am gonna have the two of you here in just a few minutes have this conversation just between the two of you,
Oh, okay.
and then Carla, you will be free to share anything from that you wish to share with
The folk.
the rest of your
Cool.
party. This is so interesting. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a quick break, very quickly, to stretch and get something to drink and all of that stuff, and refresh from the tension that is now building between everybody. So we will be back in just a couple of minutes, everybody.
We're all like, what?
Everyone
do we
just went
do?
silent. I
Now,
guess that
obviously,
doesn't
there is
help.
no audio.
Yeah.
Just make noise.
Ah!
Okay, we're back.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
All
Ooh.
right. Welcome back, everyone. Nothing important happened in those like 60 seconds or so.
We will have a silent clip of Rob eating a sandwich, though. That's going to be
very
amazing.
funny. It's the physical humor. I think that really makes it. Okay.
Totally.
So
Violent.
coming back, I want to try something. This has worked for me
Okay.
before, and I think it's going to be really fun. So, Carla, you are doing this scan on
Yes.
Maggie.
Yes.
I would like for you guys to talk it out very briefly, and Maggie to tell Carla what she gets from you. But before you do that, I want Rob and GB for you to take your headsets off. And I'll let you know when to come back, except they didn't hear me say that.
You're
They
right.
just followed questions so well. All right.
Just like wave
so,
at me when you need it back on.
Really quickly,
Throw something at
me. Carla, you take Maggie's hand, and you perform this scan. So you can ask your questions, or if there is anything specific you want to ask of Maggie, you can do so. Maggie, you tell her what she sees.
Okay. I'm so nervous. What does Maggie intend to do?
In general?
That's probably safer, yes.
Okay. You get a feeling that Maggie feels like she's been a little contained for her life. She's taught you that you should live life without restrictions, but her idea of living life without restrictions she now sees is very different and very small compared to the way things are in the 80s. So she would like to expand that and actually live her life without restrictions.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi. Okay. What is she really feeling right now? I'm just trying to get a night, just like trying to get glimmers of like
Yeah.
her holding something, not personal things back, but like holding back like her treachery potentially.
Yeah.
Like, trying to get a feel on that.
What was the question?
What is she really feeling?
Right now, she looks like she's very calm, but you do feel a level of calculation going on in her head. She is attempting to not get herself cornered, I guess. She is relaxed in that she feels like she has done nothing wrong, but she also knows that time, she's confused because she doesn't understand how time works. She's understanding in that if what this man says is true of her future, it kind of makes sense, but she doesn't have any intentions of doing that. Like, she's just like, I mean, it makes sense. I don't want to, like, I would do that. I'm not planning on doing that. Like, it's not in my cards now, but it makes sense.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
She's a little
and
horny, just a little bit.
Just slightly. Okay, fair. This is fair. And the
I feel like Rob's trying to read my lips.
just a little bit. You should say something to really throw Rob off really quick, like mouth Rob's name.
I feel like Rob is looking at his phone and not like,
I love it.
or he's frozen. Oh, there he goes. Okay.
And I
Hardly moves.
like last one. For what does Maggie crave forgiveness, and of whom?
What does Maggie crave forgiveness for? Oh, okay. So you see kind of a very quick images run through Maggie's mind. They seem to be something that bring her a lot of frustration. You see in front of her a kind of brutally murdered person with their face somewhat destroyed and their innards exposed. And she's not frustrated about what she's done. She's frustrated that what she was trying to do didn't work. And you feel
Oh,
this
so
about...
she did that. She did
Yes. And she feels that about 4 times before that feeling of failure and that sort of thing washes away. Seemingly like she has perhaps done the thing she was trying to do, but it didn't work the first 4.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So you get all of this from
All right.
Maggie. Carla can make her own assumptions. Oh, that was so much better than me answering the questions for you. All right, and we'll get the boys back.
I was witnessing the clip of me eating a sandwich.
Yes.
Yay!
Thanks, Drake.
All right, so Verulo and Traeger, you see after a moment, Carla sort of withdraw from Maggie. And Carla, what do you do?
Thank you. I believe her.
Then I do too.
I already said I did.
Traeger.
Well, now I feel like the asshole.
Well,
We
Carla
said
doesn't believe anyone,
Traeger was
so
ready to
it's
shoot
fine.
her. So, I mean, it was like, he was literally like, oh, traitor in the future, bam. It just would have
yeah.
taken her out if he hadn't believed that this Maggie will help us until she doesn't. And then he'll take her out.
The odd thing is, I think, that I still travel with you in the future, which means I've never betrayed any of you, unless I've manipulated you into traveling with me. I think, if anything, maybe Era is the one that I would betray. I'm sorry, I don't really understand this whole time travel, me from the future thing.
And Traeger does. I mean, as far as it goes, he looks rock solid about it, and I guess he'll say something along the lines of, again, if we are traveling with you in the future, then we've found out that Era or something is wrong, and we're fixing it. So if that's the case, then you have obviously either manipulated us or convinced us that what's happening is the right way to go. And I'm pretty sure I'll keep trying to do the right thing. Or
I'm pretty sure I'll do whatever's more fun, so I feel quite comfortable.
Well, I just don't know how we go from learning this bit of information to going back to Era like nothing has happened. I mean, now everything that we thought we knew is thrown into question.
Hey, you ever... No, you probably never had... You ever had a job you don't like, but you still did it? That's what you're doing. Just do the job.
I suppose.
I think it'll be hard to... I think it'll help that we have each other to speak to about this. Do you think that we should be reporting this I don't know.
Well, I already called for the extraction of this guy.
Right.
So they're going to know what he knows.
Unless he chooses not to tell him.
I
Or-
can't be the only person that Era has on their payroll that can do the things I can do. So, if they want to know, they'll probably be able to find out.
I feel like I'm going to be going through a lot of questioning. And not just by you.
At the
Well-
same time, obviously you got through it or around it.
It just seems like such a bother. But that is what must be done. It's what must be done.
I mean, we could just leave him stranded here. They've taken out his communication device. He has no way of time traveling unless someone comes to find him. We could just leave him.
They won't be able to know he's here without that, so...
So, we have them extract someone else. One of the others.
I feel like I
We-
shouldn't be weighing in on this conversation because that might be a little bit self-serving. So I'll let you all decide.
Well, we do have 4 of them, not counting him.
Saved us on the paperwork.
And the other...
I like having
uh,
Maggie around. I don't want her dragged off to headquarters and can't go out and have fun. Come on.
Richie didn't know anything, so these guys aren't going to know anything. These underlings of his, so we'll send one of them till we find out what's going on. How's that?
Sounds fair to me.
All right.
One more question. Are Era not monitoring everything we do anyway?
What is our level of monitoring? I mean, once we're through the time loop, are they can tell where we're at, or can they, you know?
Are they keystroking our vocal cords?
Right.
Not quite. Especially, I think for you all, Traeger, I think you would know you are pretty important to Era as far as they are concerned. They trust you with a lot of autonomy in the field, so they can locate you to a certain radius, which is how they are able to sort of send supplies to you and everything. But they are not necessarily listening into everything that you say or watching you at all times. I think they, especially with Traeger's history, I think they more just expect Traeger to check in every so often. So.
Okay, but do I know whether the technology exists for them to listen in on our discs?
It's theoretically possible.
Okay.
I don't think you have ever encountered it exactly.
Okay. So as far as I know, currently that's the state of it. Okay.
Mhm.
That's. And then I will relay that, theoretically possible, but no one
We
I've
have enough
known
people
has
in the
ever,
field.
has ever
I mean,
said
they would be.
that they can listen in. It's usually used for tracking and pulling us out and popping us in.
Verlo, do you feel comfortable with this?
I trust you all. I'll go with it.
Now, we agree to, if we've in the future run across a separate Maggie, who is working against us.
Oh, we're murdering her. She's going down. Sorry. I'm sorry, but it's not you.
Because it won't be you. It'll be either an alternate you with different goals.
Right.
So
Do you really want two of you wandering around as well? That's the real question.
Maggie kind of thinks for a second, and then you see her eyes kind of like light up a little bit, and then she gets really angry and she's like, no.
I didn't think so. Agreed.
All right then.
We
But
run into
how
an
are we
alternate
going to
Maggie.
know if it's an alternate Maggie or me?
well, alternate Maggie won't. We could make a code word, but future Maggie would know said code word.
If she's from the
So-
future.
Correct. So, Verulo, what was your favorite food back home?
Well, I
If you say
it's
spaghetti, I swear to
stereotypically
God.
Italian to say spaghetti. It's like, I'm half Italian. It's not racist. So you know, you know what? Renaissance Italy cuisine.
Perfect.
Yes. What?
Creamed partridge.
Um,
Oh.
Telling you.
oh god. A melon tart.
Melon
sweet.
tart.
Perfect.
Melon tart.
I like sweets. Frill is a sweet boy.
I've never
Cherry
had a melon
Liz.
tart before.
Verula's favorite dessert.
Everyone
good.
takes it. Which melon?
Who's to say, really? I'm not a baker.
Good answer.
Already closed
Good
the
answer.
page.
It's not cantaloupe. Cantaloupe's not
No.
native to Italy.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh man.
Oh, so good.
All right, so trust mostly restored, and code word set as melon tart.
Yep.
The extraction is probably happening very soon. What is your plan?
Grab one of the randos.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna let this guy go.
He's stuck here. He's stuck in the 80s,
That's-
wherever he came from.
All right. Maggie will have Traeger undo him,
Okay.
and then I don't think I should be the one to let him go. That seems wrong.
I could command him to stay here and try to live a normal life.
Sure, that sounds like a good live a good life. You know,
Sure.
be a productive
Whatever good
member of
means.
society.
Absolutely.
Drink as much as possible.
Heroin. Lots of heroin.
No.
Don't do drugs,
All right.
kids.
Don't do drugs. All right.
Well, I was just thinking he won't remember anything anyway. And just
Some weird irony to Carla saying not to do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Mhm.
They're
All
very
right,
bad
so
for you.
Going to try to command him to live a good life here in the
good life.
1980s.
In the
He
1980s.
goes to become the founding member of DARE. I'm sorry,
All
LB.
right.
I still
Almost
attack.
died.
All right. So a 10. So yes, you plant this command, and he will do his best to fulfill it. You feel it kind of take hold, and you feel you have successfully encouraged him to live a good life, whatever that means to him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll find out one day.
Oh, no.
All right. So you are letting him
Big boss
go.
revealed.
So you are letting him go, and in his place, sending one of your other 2 hostages, which I guess are still unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Probably.
So after another few moments, I think you all hear that familiar popping sound and a flash of light as 2 people, Traeger, which you recognize in Era garb, step through and ask you to point them to the extraction target.
He says they're both equal subjects. You can take either one or both. Doesn't matter to our investigation. We're good.
Okay, I think they have no reason not to believe you. So they'll nod. Each one of them will grab one of the 2 followers that you have left, and they sort of nod at you. And Traeger, they hand over a small sort of, it's kind of like a communication device. I was gonna say like a note, but I don't think Era writes anything on paper. So
Right.
it's like a little kind of like screen type deal that they hand over to you, and they nod, and pop, they are gone again with the 2 in tow. And Traeger, you have this small communication from Era letting you know that since you were sort of sucked through time against your will, communications are still a little off with them, so they are working to fix them, but that you still have business to complete in 1719. So to rest up and get a move on.
All right.
Where should we be resting?
There's usually hotels or inns or whatnot that we can rent rooms.
Here.
Right.
Yeah. We'll be here until they get communication straightened out. So it's gonna move on, people. And Traeger.
Can we go
walks out.
dancing? Oh, Maggie would love to go dancing.
Yes, I'd love to go dancing.
All right. So
Rule
a-
cracks a smile and says to Maggie, "What did she see that in your brain?"
She saw a lot of things in my brain. Would you like to know what she saw?
Well,
She says coyly.
yes.
Did you say it loud? Yeah, I was gonna say loud enough for us all to hear, or just to him?
Just him.
Most wise. Most wise. That would be a different conversation.
Ask away.
Oh, I didn't know we meant right now. Oh,
It's up to you. I'm an open book.
Would you? Do you think you would? Something would. Do you think something could convince you to betray us? Honestly.
I don't think I have a reason to. I think, if I am to be honest, I think there's one thing that could. Sorry, we're being annoying.
It's just your followers. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the kittens are the
Constantly.
followers. I love it.
I think that
This murdered a man. It's amazing.
I'm a very driven woman. I think that I don't think I have any need to betray you all. I don't think that. I think in order to betray someone, you have to have ill will towards them. And I have no ill will towards any of you.
Ferula feels a little guilty when she says that, and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't trust you."
You don't need to be sorry. I mean, the facts were in front of us. I still don't understand what's going on, or how, or why. I mean, we're from a time that is very primitive compared to them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't understand what's going on, and I think if things were reversed, it may have been the same way for me.
Yes, I'm still taking it all in.
Mm-hmm.
Every day gets easier, but it's still so baffling. It should be impossible. It is impossible, and yet we're living it.
Yes, but at least we have each other. And I think that there's a lot of things we can find out and explore together.
Yes. Like
How do you
dancing,
feel about-
apparently.
yes, I'm very interested to know how they dance in this era.
Carla's like hearing I'm sure they're playing background music, like trying to get the crowds out, and she's just sort of like bopping around to it.
And Traeger
back.
is trying to get us out, so he's basically moving us as quickly as possible to get us out of the situation. And
Time cop, Dad.
Yeah,
Come on,
right.
kids. Let's get out of
All
here.
right.
Carla's doing the pony.
So-
It's like the only thing she knows. So
All right, so the four of you, with a night off, you find a
Oh,
a
man.
hotel to stay in, I assume. And based on our last session with the money left over from the buying of the tickets, and I think the extra surplus, I think, Maggie, that you have thanks to your followers, it's no problem. You all can find a hotel to stay in. The decor, very 80s, as it were. And
Please
you
describe
can... Nope.
nope.
I worked in a hotel in 86 and 87, so yeah, anytime.
we will work together and write up a wonderful description of this hotel that I will share with everyone.
MC, what's the wallpaper like?
Ugly.
Yeah, it had little specks.
Hideous.
It was like a vanilla. It was like vanilla with little specks of blue and red all over it. At least the hotel I worked in.
That sounds
No.
wonderful. So
And
just
the
keep that with you.
companies were green, and I
Taking
can
notes.
tell you all.
Oh my god.
All right, so you find a hotel to stay in. You can acquire some food. This is a great time. Any of you that have taken harm on your harm clock, unless it is past a certain point over this night, you'll be able to heal up. It seems most of you, I think, took pretty superficial injuries.
Yeah.
So that'll heal 0. Did anyone else take harm? No, just Carla
I took 2 last session.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, over.
I think it might have
over
actually
this,
been 1, but I forgot I had
this
armor.
night. Yeah, that's fine. Either way, that'll heal overnight for you all. You just gotta need a little bit of time to rest. You go to the club, I guess, Carla.
80s club. 80s club. 80s
All
club.
right. So you go to. Do you all go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So yeah, you all sort of take the night off, have dinner, rest, go out with Carla for a while. I mean, I do think the dancing is fascinating to all of you equally. But yeah, unless is there anything specific you all would like to accomplish before you return? Or if you leave the 80s and return to 1719 to snag the blueprints that you left behind.
Carla wants to
Couple
grab
quick
Maggie, like
details,
pull her
yeah.
into the ladies' room at some
Oh,
point.
all
But go
right.
ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Graybeard.
And Graybeard, you had something?
Oh, yeah, just that when the food comes, Traeger's eyes are just huge. He's like, oh. And then as he's eating, he's just like, oh, I love the past. I love the past. Are you gonna
Aw.
eat, you're gonna eat
Is
that?
there-
And then, anybody who's not eating something, he's just gonna.
Is,
You know.
is there a famine in the future?
You've had the MRE things that we've been eting.
Oh, that's right.
So-
Yeah,
so
that's the
they're
usual.
like soy bricks, like assume they're like protein bars,
Uh-huh.
but like less flavor.
And that's all you've eaten. My God.
But, I mean, we have some delicacies occasionally, but this is fantastic. And he just moused, like I said. Now
love
he
that.
has almost no tolerance for alcohol because, well, we have a shortage of that. So that after probably like the first mug, he's kind of like, yeah, I should. That's where I just gotta stop.
Yeah, wondering.
Make sure you drink
All right.
water, big fella.
And he's like, are you gonna? He takes your water then, is because you are probably down his.
I think you all spend a lot of money on food, but that's fine. You've got it. Maggie's got it.
So
All
Carla
right,
pulls Maggie into the bathroom.
The ladies' room,
By
yes.
all means.
Yes.
You have killed.
Yes.
Several times.
They were failures. I was trying to cast
Oh.
a spell and it didn't work.
What sort of spell?
Where I come from, there isn't a lot of information on Grasset, my lord. I learned from books and I spoke to some of his followers who weren't from where I was from. But I wanted to hear from the man himself. I wanted to meet him. I needed to catch a ride. Basically, the spell includes needing to trick the Grim Reaper so that my soul could ride to see Grasset.
So it worked.
I did.
Could you teach me?
Sure. It is not for the faint of heart, as you saw. Sure. If we find the time in this crazy world we have, it requires a lot of prep work. And a certain kind of sacrifice. They need to be someone who has known love. If you catch my meaning?
I think so.
It was quite easy where I come from because in Whitehall there are quite a few sex traffic workers. They just stood on the streets. But depending on where we are, it might not be as easy.
Whitehall, you say?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I said earlier that's where I was from. Since we're in London, it's quite far from here.
Carla's thinking back to her history.
Perhaps she should be.
Good to know. Well, another time then.
Right. Is this what all parties are like where you're from?
No. Oh, mine were a lot quieter, rowdier. These are still quite fun though. I do enjoy
It
the
is.
music.
It's quite loud. But perhaps that's something I need to get more comfortable with, as you saw in my mind.
Mhm. Did you enjoy yourself at least?
Quite fun. It's right, it's just not up my alley as far as things that I'd like to do.
What would you like to do?
She'll kind of just smile and like kind of rub your shoulder and not tell you and walk away. Walk out of the bathroom.
Go back to the party.
All right, so you head back to the party. Is there anything you all would like to accomplish before you set back out tomorrow?
Yeah, Maggie does.
Okay.
As we're heading back to the hotel, or once we get back to the hotel, I think Maggie will try and chat with Verulo for a moment. What was he doing at the party?
So I imagine this is like just like a nightclub scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like an 80s nightclub. So Verulo is like super focused on the moving pictures. And like all the 80s music videos playing and all like the retro future wave looking shit. Like it's very stunning to him. Like he is in awe, just like maybe he's standing there with like some sort of a drink, just breathtaking. And just, yeah, Verulo likes the 80s, man.
So she'll kind of stop him and, did you have fun tonight?
Oh, yeah. Surprisingly, yes. It's so colorful in a different way that my home, which was filled with color and art and music, this is almost like a future version of that. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, of all the things I've seen on our journey, I didn't think I would love anything this much. It's nice to see that sometime before whatever happened in Traeger's time, art evolved and kept evolving.
Yes. Even
It's
where I'm
beautiful.
from, it's very different from yours. But this is... I think the 80s have taught me a lot, and a lot of my teachings from my lord is... Well, what I thought I was doing and what I was actually doing were two different things. I've tried to live my life without restrictions, but I see being here that what I thought was without restrictions is miles behind what they are, where they are now. But, you know, I think I'd like to explore some more things and, you know, be a bit more open.
Like what?
I think, well, what I was thinking is that I would like to, you know, there's just so many things here that I haven't, or in the world that I haven't tasted, touched, all those things, and I think I'd like to.
I did see a couple restaurants on our way from the concert venue. I imagine there's plenty of food for Traeger.
Maggie's going to stand directly in front of him. What I'm saying is I'd like to try those things, and I'd like to start with you.
Oh.
If you're interested.
Where? Hmm. And he just nods.
Good. Don't worry. I'll be gentle. And she kind of grabs him by the collar and just drags him.
Okay. All right. And you drag Verulo out of frame, and then we fade to black.
Fade to black.
Either of you
my God.
have an intimacy move?
We do.
You do?
Yes.
Sure do.
All right. If those involve rolling, I would love to hear about it.
If you and another character have sex, you each hold one. Either of you can spend your hold any time to help or interfere with the other, at a distance or at a closest.
Okay.
Okay.
So we each get to hold one
All right.
to the other.
So
Yes,
Carla
so
and Traeger, we shut the place down or what?
Hell yeah!
Alright.
You can literally drag Carla out. They're like closing time. She's still like she maybe picked up on a couple of like 80s dance moves, like watching people. So
Well, and Traeger probably has some moves no one's ever seen, and he's totally ripped, so he can pull it off.
I love that.
Exactly.
oh,
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
right. So, yeah, go ahead.
I'll drag
sorry.
her out.
okay.
When they close the place, I'll literally one arm around. Come on.
All right. So, Carla and Traeger party the entire night away. Only
Trigger,
leaving.
trigger, cannon. You
What?
created the Running Man.
Oh
Created the Running Man.
All right.
Cannon.
Perfect.
That's how it happens.
Cannon.
Perfect. I'm writing it down.
That is how it happened, and it catches on quite a bit.
So, if you and another character have sex, your HX with them on your sheet immediately goes to +3, and they immediately get +1 to their HX with you on their sheet. If that brings them to +4, they reset it to +1 and mark experience as usual.
Yes.
So,
Okay, so your histories change, and you both have a hold over each other that you can spend to help or interfere. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
heck
Okay.
yeah.
So you guys write those down. Make sure you change your histories. So everyone partying like it's 1986 in their own ways. You all awake the next morn, ready to jump back and finish what you started in 1719. So I would love to know what your plan is to finish that business.
Okay, so the plans were with the person with the accent, who
Mhm.
we are assuming is alternate future Maggie. They haven't gotten out yet from when we left. So supposedly they still have it. I still have it.
Oh, she didn't leave? I thought she snapped. Oh, no, we got
She
snapped.
Snapped us
Yeah.
away.
You got
She
you got
clapped
snapped.
and... Oh, see, I have she claps and time travels away. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I wrote that down.
You all
wrong
time
then.
traveled away.
We traveled away. Okay.
Yeah. So
So maybe she still has it. Maybe she gave it to someone, probably the captain that we were with before, because they won.
Okay.
Jack,
okay.
right?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What sort of? Okay. So what sort of timeline though would it be if we went back like 5 minutes before that went down with ourselves?
Oh,
Do we run
God.
into ourselves and can we intervene? Is that a thing?
I feel like that is a dangerous game to play.
Trigger,
That
I
would
don't think
get
you know.
Yeah,
messy.
Trigger goes, whoa. He crossed, and then, I mean, that might be the incident that starts the whole thing to get a second Maggie in the first place.
Oh, shit. There'd be 3 Maggies. I'm confused.
Ah!
That's where Trigger suddenly, like,
Time travels
lines
whack.
with strings or
I'm
loops.
scared.
So perhaps we should travel maybe an hour after we left. That way, we are definitely out of the way. Perhaps other me won't be there anymore, and we could just track down the instructions and destroy him.
Yes, I don't think we should be interfering with our past selves. This is messy as it is with
I
potentially...
didn't think interfering with our past selves. We let our past selves go, but then we know exactly where those plans are, and we can jump right in.
Oh, I
We
see.
hide.
You,
We could let the whole interaction continue. because
we
want
watch
our
what-
timeline to continue.
we watch what transpires right after we leave. That
Yes.
may be the smartest decision.
And we don't interfere. We still allow that to happen, so we can get
From
where
a
we are
distance,
now.
we observe the
From a
situation.
distance.
Yes. Okay.
Are we sure we want to talk to other Maggie this early? Are we ready to do that? Are
I
we
don't
ready
even
to
think we
kill other
necessarily
me?
need to. We can watch and see what happens, see what happens with the plans, and then intervene.
Right, once they leave. I
Yes.
leave. All right.
Yes.
This is all
My
very
head hurts.
confusing. Right.
I don't know if my head hurts from the alcohol or thinking about this. It might be both. I don't know. Oh,
Get some fizzle when we're back in the past. I think that'll help.
Yes.
If they have carbonation back then, I don't think they did. I had it in my time.
wobbly.
That's all I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm
Water, yeah.
assuming we're I was gonna say I'm assuming we're like in the hotel room, so she'll just like raid the mini bar. I mean, we're not staying. It's not like they can
Right.
charge us extra.
All right. Whose room are we in? Why does it smell like sex in here?
Oh, God.
Could be anyone's. We didn't finish our night. There's a
That
hotel
wasn't
bar.
Maggie I
you know.
slept with.
It was Traeger. Anyways.
Oh,
Maggie felt so strong.
Rage Traeger too.
all right. So
I love it.
the plan is to drop in at the time you left.
Yeah, like 2
Wait
minutes
for the
before.
interaction
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, like roughly the
Okay.
same time.
Yes,
Okay,
but away because everyone will be on the shore watching the
Mm-hmm.
race.
Yeah,
So
from
we
a
can, like-
distance.
Pop over from a distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you all would like to accomplish before you go?
Maggie is 100% back in her normal attire.
Okay.
Yeah, Traeger switches back to the clothes we had then, and then totally once it dawns on him, someone said something about raiding the minibar. He's like everything into his bag.
Yes.
like strips it, thinking in his head, he's like, rating this minivar, how could it affect the future? Don't care.
All right, so Traeger empties the minibar into his bag.
Verulo folds up his little Bon Jovi t-shirt and tucks it away in his bag and smiles.
Oh, same. She's Carla's keeping all of her 80s attire. She will be incorporating it into everything from here on out when she's not working. She loves
All
it.
right. So those of you that enjoyed them, excuse me, you pack away your 80s clothes. You raid the mini bar and any snacks that are around as souvenirs, and the four of you say goodbye to the 80s and come together to make your way back to 1719. Yeah, and I think that is where we will pick up next week.
Solid.
Voila.
So, you have learned a lot of things about yourselves and your friends, but ultimately left 1986 more or less how it should be.
Bon Jovi lives!
Bon Jovi lives, and that's all that really matters in the end. I think. Well done, everybody. Wonderful. So many wonderful things that happened this session. I cannot even begin to count them. Let us do our session end history. So as a reminder, at the end of every session, you choose a character who knows you better than they used to. If there's more than one, you get to choose one at your whim, and that player adds one history with you on their sheet. If they roll over, you get XP. If no one knows you better, you can choose a character who doesn't know you as well as they thought, and they will take -1 history to you. So, does anyone know who they're going to pick?
I think I think Verulo and Carla learned a little bit about Maggie.
Okay.
But I think that Carla definitely learned a lot about Maggie and her past and her motivations and stuff. So,
Absolutely.
Yes. That goes to +4. I level up. Hey.
All right. So you get experience and you level up, so you will reset your history with Maggie to a +1.
Cool.
Carla?
I was gonna say maybe nobody, but I think Verulo knows that as long as he doesn't touch the glove, he's cool. Sure, go ahead, Verulo.
That counts.
That counts. Why not?
Maggie knows that Carla is willing to murder someone.
True.
Also true.
Yeah, I'd say we learned a lot about Carla and Maggie this episode. All right, so Verulo, you'll mark
True.
+1.
Honestly, though,
Carla?
Carla probably thinks you would have known that already. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Some of the conversations in a boot knife,
Yeah, right?
Oh,
All
man.
right. Who we got left? Verulo and Traeger?
The boys.
The
Yeah,
boys.
I don't know who would know me better.
Well, there's an obvious choice.
It's Maggie.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so Maggie will
Some
mark
might say I know
+1.
you intimately.
Oh.
Cool.
All right, and Traeger.
Oh man. Carla, did Traeger and Carla hook up at the end of the night? Then after the party?
No.
Okay. All right.
Damn.
No, that's why I asked.
She was
I was
having
like,
she was having a Carla night. She was having
then-
like a girl, like girls just want to have fun.
and
Did that
and
come out
then-
86
She was having a girl's night with herself.
with
you're probably
herself?
pissed-
She was feeling
you're probably-
herself.
Hell
pissed
yeah.
because I ended the party.
Yeah,
I
right?
drove you away, and we're like, we're going back to the hotel, kind of thing. All right, that's cool. I I guess then I'll go ahead and I'll take a -1 then with Carla, because I had to stop her. I had to end the party. So
All right. So Carla, you will take a -1 to your history with Traeger.
Okay.
but mine stays the same then.
Yes, yours stays
Okay.
the same.
All right,
Okay.
still at
Cool.
1,000.
All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for once again going on this journey through time with me. Lots of adventures still to be had, and lots of new things to learn about each other. So, we will go ahead and sign off for the evening. Thank you everybody out there for watching and hanging out with us in the chat. We have so much fun every week doing this, and we're so glad to share it with you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, come join us live on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and be there for all the action. Kitty. So one more time, I am Savvy Seaworth, the MC for this game. You can find me on all of the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff, at Savvy Seaworth, which is right below my face. I also, when I am not here, I do a lot of streaming at twitch.tv/game nights. That's 2 G's in game and a K in nights. I'm currently running a Monster of the Week game over there, which is a similar system to this. So if you like this, you probably like that. That's on Thursdays. And yeah, doing a lot of other stuff as well. So come hang out. I always point the wrong way.
Oh God, it's me. She's pointing in my camera. How'd she get here? I'm Rob, also known as Bonus Stage Rob if you're feeling formal. I stream over on twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob, bunch of video games and whatnot. That is adorable. I also, it's the best backing track I've ever had. I also run a campaign, a homebrew D&D 5e campaign over at twitch.tv/runawayrobot_ on Thursdays. And I am here every Sunday with these fine friends o' mine, fucking up time and stuff. So, yeah. Sometimes eating
And
sandwiches.
adding to time.
Fucking up
Traeger
time,
invented the
fucking
running
in
man.
time.
I don't know if that's a positive or a negative, but Traeger invented the running man. I'm sticking to it.
I wrote it down.
The notes.
Hi, I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters. Mondays and Tuesdays, I am on Indoor Adventurers channel, playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Wednesdays, I am on Dammit Berries channel with GB, and we play in the Ghost of Saltmarsh game. And directly after this, since there will be no game after this on this channel, you could come over to my channel, Pro Restarter, and watch me play a little bit of my crazy character in the Cypher system. Or you could check out my stream Monday through whenever I feel like taking the cats to work. And I stream the kittens as a nanny cam. So that's twitch.tv/LBHack'emUp. And you can watch it, listen to some cool tracks, and see them play. Yeah! Jimmy, go!
I'm Graybeard, Graybeard's Tavern. Graybeard's Tavern with an S when you want to check me out on Twitch. Graybeard Tavern when you want to look at Twitter. Twitter has my schedule. Generally, I'm going to give props out to Indoor Adventurers Mondays and Tuesdays because almost always I'm in the chat hanging out because I love those guys. Wednesday, like LB said, we're in Ghosts of Saltmarsh, where I play a Warforged, also kind of a gun lugger, but I'm a gunslinger, and that's a good time. And then Fridays, every other Friday, I play in Blood Debt, which is a 2-part campaign fighting for control of Miami in 2037. I'm one of the cops, and the other side's the mafia, so depending on your Friday, you get to see the other side of the coin. All kinds of fun there. Sunday mornings here with all my toys to play some Darkest Dungeon. We have a good time with that. And then, of course, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I was playing Carla. My name's Christina Sid, at Greek Sid on the Twitters. I am here on Sundays. I am over on the Femsplained cast on Tuesdays. It is Tuesday Prime. Woohoo! We do every other Tuesday. Doing a Neverland 5e game. It's so dope. And then gonna be starting a channel, Odyssey RP. So we're gonna be getting some stuff on there, continuing our Temple of Elemental Evil game, a new sesh called Descent into Darkness. Super excited about that. Just watch my Twitter for that when that gets started, and also just playing a bunch of goofy games on there too. It's gonna be great.
All right. So one more time, thank you everybody for hanging out with us on this Sunday evening. We will be back 1 week from today on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time to finish taking speedboats away from pirates and whatever comes next, which I know about. No doubt.
Oh,
That's
God.
the fun part of running games. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us. We'll be back in 1 week. Thank you to you all for playing with me. And we will see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.